world, and welcome right back into my garden. It is a burning hot Saturday afternoon, but I'm in the garden. There are some things that I really need to reshape. It is good when you're home and you come into the garden and you take stock of what is happening. So, I have made a few changes since morning, and I'm about to show you them. So, I put a shade cloth over where I put my pak chai and the sun totally scorched them to death. Yes, because contrary to my own personal belief system that I don't need to be growing vegetable now is a lie. Because if I don't grow them, it simply means that what I'm going to be growing, what I'm going to be eating is what them spray all of the toxins on. And that really is not what I want to be doing. So, folks. I have put a shade under there. And like I suggested, I'm going to get myself some suckers today. Yes, and I'm going to be transplanting those suckers in the evening, say about 4 o'clock. All right. What else have I done this morning? I've pulled down the mini shade house, and my God, the amount of sun that is in the garden right now is amazing. So all of the things I may struggle to get little sun, I get sun now. I tell you, I'm going to repurpose this bed and I'm going to be growing corns in there. So what I'm doing now is prepping it for the planting of the corns. Yes. And I told you I got sweet corn seeds. So sweet corn seeds are going to be sown. Yes. So I'm going to be, the bed where the corn was at, I'm going to be um, replenishing that bed. So I'm going to put in some amendments in the soil and probably add another bag of manure in there. And that's going to be my tomato bed for a season. I'm going to pull down the mesh I have around it because with tomato in there, I'm going to need to be more attentive. So I'm going to pull down the mesh that I had put around the corns. Yep, yep. All right, so what am I going to be doing for protection against the mongoose? All right, so I read where peppermint oil worked, and I can't get peppermint oil. So I'm going to buy the peppermint, the essence of peppermint, and I'm going to be setting it up in the garden at strategic locations. Probably set a barrel with some or a bucket with some in every bed, or just try to spray the beds morning and evening with the peppermint essence and see if that really work. Apart from that, I heard that them don't like black pepper smell. So I'm going to invest in some black pepper too and sprinkle it all around the garden. I trying everything that is natural. I don't want to use any chemicals to get rid of anything. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So in the sonnet, in the garden, I am looking at the things that really don't struggle so much. I have not watered since morning. I watered yesterday evening and came up here about 10 o'clock. Yeah, that's when I came up here, about 10. Let me tell you exactly how long I've been in the garden for. I've been in the garden for about an hour and 19 minutes. And it is in that time that I pull down this, set this up, yeah, and I'm assessing some stuff that really needs to change in here so that the garden can get the best possible chance at flourishing that it really needs. So now that I have let back in the sunlight by removing that little shade house, I started to dismantle the bed where the tomatoes were. That I started to dismantle that. I brought up some of the lumbers for the chicken house that have already been cut because the intent is to later this evening, if it's even try to put up one side wall or continue to frame up stuff, and then all I need to do is get help to join. Yeah. So that's the MO this Saturday. Yeah, so I'm telling you, the sun is doing a number on my arms because honestly, I couldn't put on a long sleeve shirt in this heat. I'd be tormented round about now. So as soon as I get to another phase, I will catch you up. I can't put the the phone that I'm using in the sun because it gonna shut it down. So we catch up back shortly. Well, hello again, world, and welcome right back into my garden. Listen up, started a video on Saturday, and the intention was to have gone on the road, conduct some business, get back home, and get right into the video. Well, I never went on the road. I went into the house and I started baking. So I started baking about 1 o'clock, and if I came out of the kitchen until almost 9:30, because I decided I'm going to bake everything where I could have baked. Um, One of the reasons for this is I don't consume a lot of stuff from the street. Um, so breads, buns, biscuits are things that I really am not supposed to consume, period. Do I have my cheat days? Of course I do have them. Ah, hallelujah to the Lamb. Yeah, but when I have the cheat days, I am the person who suffers. So I make it my personal objective to pre-prep or prepare stuff as much as is humanly possible to ensure that I maintain quality of life. Oh yes. So I'm home. I don't even change the clothes yet. So I'm in the people I'm working gear. But I realize the evening is going and there's some stuff that I need to put in the garden before I get to Bible study this evening. So I'm going to be sowing some beetroot seed, some carrot seed, some radish. I think I'm going to sow some kale, some cabbages, purple and green. What else am I going to sow? Probably that's about it for this evening. I'm not going to overdo the thing. Some string beans. I'm going to sow some string beans. I got some string beans. So I'm going to sow some string beans. So here is how I'm going to do it. That area, Marie, that shaded garden bed that you said to me to plant the beets in. After you said that, I researched what other vegetables enjoy a bit of shade to grow. And surprisingly, carrots was one of them. Um, all this time I've been growing carrot, I've been growing carrot in full sun. I never know that they could have tolerated some shade. I know that the kale, I know that the cauliflower can manage the shade because I have grown those in the shades already. However, now that this research has been done and I see how many other things can be grown in the shade, I am going to be busting out some seeds, y'all. I am going to be busting out some seeds. So, um, my instrument don't do a good job of what you call now swiveling because it don't swivel period. Let me see if I can pull it down some and show you where we're going, where I'm at, and what is going to be done. Okay, so what I am doing as we speak is I am moistening the soil prior to sowing seeds. I have come to realize that doing this, especially for the harder grades that you don't pre-soak, makes for faster germination. So here I am moistening the soil, and I realize that when you use the misting method of moistening the soil, you have a more even, you have a more even um, soil moisture condition. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I am moistening the soil, moistening the soil. This can be a very tedious process. Reason being, I am using my spray, my sprayer to do this particular portion. Yeah, so this can be very tedious. All right, so here is how it goes. I'm planting 2 or 3 rows of carrot. And yes, it is. You know what that is? Unicorn snail. Mm. Those are menaces, when you plant seed. Unicorn snails are menaces, I'm telling you. Listen, let me complete this process and we get right back together. Uh, what do you do? So I went down and changed my clothes because the work thing there, I feel I hide too much of myself because I don't really want to expose the people them thing. All right, so along with my planting today, I'm going to share a bit of information with you. All right, so I am also going to be sowing a bed of sweet corn, and this is the method that I'm going to be using today because the norm is that when I'm planting corns and beans, I normally soak. So I recently realized that any seed soaked, any seed pre-soaked, germinates much faster because what you actually do is you moisten the kernel and cause them to be more tender. Hence, the germination process occurs way more swiftly. So, I'm gonna be sharing something with you all today. All right. So, I like to share my knowledge gained, because in this community that we are in, whatever we know and share, it actually enhances this community. So, we not keep information locked up underneath the belt like a secret weapons. Oh no. Before I go any further. So I was coming up the pathway to the garden and a scripture dropped in my head. It come out of Genesis. I can't remember the exact place in Genesis, but I can remember the scripture says, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest, heat and cold will not cease, but it shall be abiding forever. What that mean? I will tell you next day, because we're not preaching today, all right? I just want you to know, though, that regardless of where you live and what the climatic conditions are, we can take it in a many ways. So I'm going to give you the literal way now. As long as we are alive, the conditions that we face, heat and cold, and the need for plant and for harvest is mandatory because we cannot survive without food. Okay? Grow something. Grow something. I'm going again remind you what blessings from the garden say. Grow a garden one container at a time. Trust me, people, I don't think we are realizing the seriousness of the times that we are living in. I was listening to an international newscast a day or so ago and was told that the Mississippi River, one of the major transshipment port, that the water is actually drying up. Now, if that river loses the waterway that the ships travel on, just imagine the devastation because that is a major transshipment port. All right. Like we listen to what the word of the Lord say. Prepare. So, peas and bean. Sorry for the distraction here. So I'm going to just run them off. Fast, fast, fast. If you have a pen and a piece of paper, right. So the larger seeds, your bean, like the broad bean, the big white bean, your corn, them kind of thing, it is suggested that we soak them between 12 to 24 hours. All right. What it does, as I said before, it softens the tough outer coat and allow for quicker germination. All right. some of the flowers them to like the morning glory and the moonflowers. We don't really grow much of that. So all right. So other other things that we need to plant and say to soak when you're planting celery seed. I think them say 4 to 6 hour water soaking time for the celery seed. While I'm here, I'm still soaking the soil. So I need to do something while the soil is being pre-soaked because I never soak the seeds. So I have to do it the opposite way. And I know say me are the artist when I'm reverse, don't you? Mm-hmm. Me reverse everything. Them say soak the seed and soak the soil because time does not allow. If I had set them to soak before I went to work this morning, it would have been too much. And too much is just as bad as none. When you can't escape with none, too much, because I have done it. The last time I put some bean to soak, I did it before I went to work because the intention was to have left work at midday. Well, that never materialized because there was something that had to be done. And therefore, my plan to leave work midday just never happened. So when I came home, the bean them, most of them split wide open because them soak too long. So it's a reason why everything have a time frame within which it must be done. And don't be like me here, can me skiffle everything. Um, I'm not afraid of failing, and I think that is why I experiment a lot. Um, it is through my experiment that I have learned a lot of things that I now know. Because for me, I don't have a problem with not being able to win at all times. Sometimes you learn the best lessons from losing. So the cucumber seeds, the cucumber seed, the pumpkin seed, all of the cucumber family, the zucchini, the squashes, all of those, 2 to 4 hour soaking as well. Your cruciferous vegetables now, the cabbage, the kale, the collards, the broccoli, the Brussels sprouts, all of those, similar 2 to 4 hour soaking time. I don't remember what the soaking time for onion is. Can you believe that? I should have remembered that one day more than anything else. Because of our truth, um, my onion production have not been doing so fabulously in the last couple of months. Well, it's not because of the soaking. It's because the insect will not leave my things alone. I may I tell you. So you see, me soaking this bed now to sow seeds, I have already strategized. I'm going to be covering it down with some of this mesh here. The mesh that I use to, let me show you. Ooh, what a thing to tell the king. Eh, eh. What a thing to tell the king. No, sir. Then I saw me have the thing well bogged down that it took since so long to move. Right, I finally get it up. Come on out there, you. All right. I am going to be putting some of this mesh over this bed. Um, I know that neither the mongoose nor the cat likes to have their feet snug into anything, so I'm putting this over the bed. Yeah, I'm going to apply this mesh over the bed. Whew. Why? Them animal have me a strategize, I tell you. So, can you believe that Miss Anne actually I got label today? Walk with a marker. Yeah. And I'm going to be labeling on the concrete blocks. So wherever the carrots are, I'm going to write carrot and I'm doing it on the inside. Reason being, if I write it up here so the possibility exists, I'm going to wash it off because I always carry in water and putting down up here. So I'm going to put it on the inner section. So where the carrot is, where the beet is, where whatever is. Yeah, Miss Anna got label and date. Can you believe that? I am improving, y'all. I'm improving. Anyway, In the interest of time, I go to sow the seeds and we catch up back. All right? All right. So I've planted out the sweet corn. So it's 20. Okay, so the corn has been planted, 24 roots, utilizing the square foot method of gardening, where I plant them every 4 inches apart. Um, Either way, 4 inches apart, either way. So that's what I did. So this bed has 24 roots of corn, and I'm praying that everything will germinate and that I'll have fabulous sweet corn. So I'm going to be watering it in now, and then we pick up back again. Yes, so we're watering in. I am watering in. The corn's watering in the corn. So what I did was I made a squirt bottle, and this is faster than the other bottle. It's amazing what a nail can do. So I just got a nail and pierce some holes in the cap of this bottle. I have to refill on numerous occasions in order to get it done. But hey, I'm not pouring the water. I put in the water where I want the water to be concentrated. I had pre-moistened this soil. So even though the top appears to be dry, I did wet it this morning because I knew I was coming home to plant the corns. So whereas the top is dried, there's a bit of moisture under this top. So that's where I'm working from. And I'm going to be coming up in the morning to water it again. Yeah. So that my corns will have the very best opportunity at growing. All right. I know the bed look like I have rubbish in there, but I have some dried leaves in there and all of the stuff that is in there. Some tomato vines and stuff. Them going to break down in the soil. I don't need to take them out. That's really not important to have them moved. Those are organic materials, and I need as much organic material as is humanly possible in all of these soils right now, because I want to open up the soil more than it is now. Because the more compacted the soil is the more struggle your plants have to grow. And boy, I think my vegetable them tired to ride the struggle bus. Oh no, no more struggle bus for my food. Yeah, so I think this bed is soaked enough. Yeah, soaked enough with water. Yes. All right, so when it is that I've planted the carrots and the beets and all the other stuff that I'm planting, I will show you what's going on. So this is where my mini greenhouse was, and I took the shade down because I wanted to plant the corns right here. So this is now my corn bed. The corn can manage all of the sun. Anything that is delicate will be placed under shade. So that's where I'm at. I'll catch you up another time. Okay, folks, so I've completed the planting. So let me tell you what's going on. There is dill, there is kale, there is zinnias, because I intersperse flowers, aromatics. There is basil in here. There is basil. Then there is carrots. As I said, so two different sets of carrots. So there's carrot down here. Then I have zinnias in here as well. There's a row of zinnias, a row of marigold. Marigold is what I should have been saying right here. Marigold. Um, then we have three different types of cabbages in here. We have, yes, I will have onions that I'm not sure will germinate. And we have more carrots up the top. And last but not least, two additional rows of beetroot and a row of bachelor button. Yes, my people. Until we meet up again in the garden, this is Miss Anne saying thank you for making it yard studying in Jamaica. Continue to like the videos, to share the videos, to leave your comments. And if you are here and have not yet subscribed, please to do so. To all my subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate you. All the best. Until we meet again, right here in the garden. Jagged.